Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, welcome. In about 1 minute, we're going to start our session. Today's topic is going to be about what tech can you not live without? That's going to be interesting. So, 25 minutes of discussion on this topic. So, we're happy to have you here with us. All right. All right, Karen. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait a minute. I just remember I don't have my music. Let me get my music. Hey, I learned all of this for a reason.
Yes, you did.
Uh oh. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Well, never mind. It's not coming up for some reason. We will
Okay.
we'll fix that in post. I know how to do that.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are on YouTube, this is Dr. Tasha Toy, and this is Toy Talk. This is the place where you come to learn more about technology, lifestyle, pop culture, and the culture that is Dr. Tasha Toy, and of course, our wonderful friend, Dr. Karen Reed Hendon. Hi, Karen.
Hello, St. George.
St. George, we are now worldwide. What are you talking about? We have people on the East Coast. So I would like to say all my friends and my family on the East Coast. Yes, when I speak about the East Coast, my accent changes. We'd like to say welcome to what we call St. George Live. And we are going to have an abbreviated little session here, and then we'll come back later on and share more on this topic. But today's topic is what tech can you not live without? We live in a society that has a lot of technology, whether it's on our phones, our computers, our tablets, our laptops, our notebooks, our different apparati. It consumes us, and we have to ask ourselves, how much do we really need all of this? And with that, that's going to be the focus of our technology discussion. There have been many articles also about how technology is good for a community, and also how technology is bad and how it harms us, how it does not give anything to what we're doing in our life and doesn't make it any richer. But we're going to take a spin on that. And we're going to talk about how technology helps us do our work and how we travel and do different things within our family and our communities and what technology plays in that role. So, the question of today, and I posted to Karen before we got on the air, was what three apparatus, apps, software that you can't live without? Why? Give us an overview, and hopefully this will give you insight to St. George and all the other people about what makes this good. So, Karen, share with us your first selection.
Okay, so the first app for productivity that I cannot live without is Pinterest.
Really?
Really, Pinterest is the busy person's vision board.
Huh.
We need to be able to pull down certain things, pull together ideas for things, and then from that, use that as inspiration to guide whatever it is that we're trying to work on. And in fact, you were the person that introduced me to Pinterest all those years ago. When I first started really getting into utilizing productivity apps.
Mm-hmm.
I am, for a long time, I was all things, show you how old I am, Blackberry and Palm Pilot.
I miss my BlackBerry. I had a flashback. I want to say 2 months ago. They were talking
Hmm.
about the what is it? The new Samsung um, phone that you could open up and it would be a
Hmm.
whole screen. I was like, that's good. But you know what I really miss is my BlackBerry.
Yeah.
And I still got my BlackBerry and Palm Pilot.
Because, the Blackberry was the thing, but, we started to move into situations where we needed to, think of things on the fly or being
Mm-hmm.
able to, gather inspiration on the fly. And nowadays, not a whole lot of folks have lots of time to sit down with stacks of magazines and start cutting out things for
Mm-hmm.
vision boards. So Pinterest helps to like cut out the clutter for some of that. I know that I have tons of boards that have allowed me to do a number of things. Have I failed at Pinterest a few times? Of course, because who doesn't? There's a whole board that's dedicated to Pinterest fails. But for the most part, there's a lot that's out there that the everyday person can do to
Sorry.
get them where they're
Yes.
trying to go.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I remember you're right. There's a Pinterest fail page. But
Hmm.
wasn't there some time ago a young lady who made it her mission to do every to for like a month, and she went on Pinterest and got different things
Yeah.
and tried it, and like 96% of it was a fail. And it was
Yeah.
something simple as sewing or
Yeah.
cooking or
Yes.
shopping,
Yes.
and it was just like wah, wah, nothing. It was very bad. It was horrendous.
So, just to take it a step further, there's a Netflix show that is all about fails,
Uh-huh.
specifically Pinterest fails.
I am so gonna go on. Okay, can I just tell you? No, something that you alluded to was we loved our Palm Pilot. Again, I still have mine. And then our BlackBerry. Yeah, I still have mine. And then we moved to the awesome flip phone. Remember your razors?
Hmm.
And we were like, oh, there's a silver, there's a black. And when the pink came out and started coming in colors, we just lost our minds. But
Hmm.
the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think it's a dual thing. Pinterest was the beginning, down a little bit, we'll say, on what's the word? Technology, internet.
Hmm.
Remember when email and all of that was very basic? It was DOS and
Yes.
it was square pegs. Remember when printing was dot matrix and it went back and forth and it had that horrible sound,
Yep.
and
Oh,
in
yes.
order to print one page took you at least 20 minutes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was ribbons and all of those type of things. So I think yes, it was
Yes.
hand in hand. It is technology, but I would venture to say it's also the internet,
Hmm.
hardware and software. While we are focusing on apps and technology, it's that dual dance that you just shared about. It is I I, I remember when getting on the internet was a foreign concept.
Yes. We all do.
Oh, it
Many of us remember dial up, the AOL, the
you
little
got
man,
mail. Oh.
and the sound. And when getting on the internet meant not getting on the phone, we remember all those things.
And it went from phone, and then it went phone or internet, and then it went
Yes.
phone or internet going really fast. And then it
Yes.
went to phone, internet going really fast and taking off your um you remember you could cancel your what is it? Your second line.
Yep.
Yeah. So you wouldn't get kicked off. And now
Yes.
most of us don't even have home phones.
Nope. The landline has just about
Who?
gone the way.
What? Ma Bell, remember that? So I mean,
Uh huh.
it's a dual dance. It's a dual
Yeah,
dance.
it
But
is.
yeah, I I remember all of that software. I remember, and for those of you who are watching online, This is a 2 gig jump drive. Okay,
Mhm.
2 gigs. That's big if you think about it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is remember when we had to use floppy disks, the real ones that
Yes.
bend and you couldn't touch certain places because if
Yes.
not, everything was erased.
Yep.
It's crazy. Or in the final part of it, going back to Pinterest and technology, Karen, remember you mentioned that Pinterest is the alternative to um,
Doing your vision board.
doing your vision board. But
Yeah.
remember in cutting out magazines, and remember
Mhm.
back in the day at Christmas, you would sit down with some
Mhm.
scissors and you would have
Mhm.
your vision board or your wish list for Christmas, and you had to
Mhm.
sit down and nicely cut it out and give your color selection. I want the
Yep.
red. I want this bike, but I want it red.
Yes.
And it was a major daunting situation. And
Yes.
you're right, Pinterest has moved us away from that.
Yes, it
I
has.
miss you, Pinterest. I mean, I miss you cutting out stuff. I miss you, Toys R Us. Let's go back to the basics.
Right. Right.
All right. So you shared Pinterest. The one thing that
Mhm.
I am finding out that I cannot live without, and it is a technology thing,
Mhm.
is I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I can't live without the App Store.
The full app store.
Yes, the full App Store. Do not judge
Okay.
me, okay?
Who are me to judge?
The reason why I selected the App Store is because it's a place where actually uh, App Store and YouTube all at the same time. And let me tell you why. I go into the App Store to learn what or to see what the latest apps that are coming down the pipeline. I've made
Mhm.
attempts to go online on different websites, the thinking websites, the masters of the universe, to try to
Mhm.
learn about what's coming down the pipeline. And some of this
Mhm.
stuff is still in beta. And for those of you who don't know, beta means testing. And
Mhm.
I don't have access to it, but the gurus do. I go in
Yeah.
the app store and I look at first free. I always go for free.
Of
And then
course.
I go through and I look and see what are the respective apps that are coming down. Um,
Yes.
I skip the top 10 because everybody has those. And I go
Yeah.
to the bottom ones, about 100, and see what's going on. And that's the reason why I go to the app store because I want to look at productivity. I want to look at the latest clouds. I want to look at the different things and trying to understand what's how it works. And the reason why I tandem that with YouTube is because then I go on YouTube and I learn how to use the app.
Yes. Yes. YouTube has become the teacher that we didn't have when we were younger in a lot of ways, that we're able to pull down information and learn how to do things. And if we need to slow it down, we can. And if we need to speed it up, we can. Or if we need to find another opinion, we can. It's all right there.
The option that I like on YouTube is the whole repeat one, the the
Yes.
rewind because I wear that one out a lot.
Yes.
A lot. And that's where I
Yes.
learned how to do my makeup. And that's where I learned the different fashion icons and what's going on. And it was my precursor to Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime video because all I had to do was just wait and somebody was going to
Yeah.
upload it.
Yes. And that still happens. So, yes. Yes.
No, no, not you.
Yeah. Yeah. Still happens. But yes, it's a phenomenal resource. It's a phenomenal resource to get all the information that you're looking for in one stop.
My fave. The other,
Yep.
so I've given my 1A and 1B. Karen, what's your number two?
So my number two would be the entire Google Drive suite.
Google Drive, sweet, yes. Mm.
So you don't know what you don't know until you find that you absolutely need it.
True.
With me being in the role that I'm in, I'm a mid level. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
mid level officer at my
Mm-hmm.
institution, which means that I am often partnering up with scores of people from one side of campus to the other. We can't always have a meeting.
Right.
So Google Drive allows us to put a lot of things in one place and be able to get that information to that person.
Mm-hmm.
The best part that I like about it is that everyone can actually put in their input into whether it's a document, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
spreadsheet, creating a RSVP form. There's so much that's there, and you don't have to worry about trying to make sure that something is saved on a shared drive or
Mm-hmm.
something it just automatically saves. Coupled with that, since you gave a 1A and a 1B,
Uh-huh.
Grammarly is now my new boo.
You
Grammarly,
come to you're Grammarly? Yes, I forgot to tell you about that one. My bad.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fine. I learned about Grammarly on my own. Okay, I learned about it on my own. Um, and the dope thing about Grammarly,
Uh-huh.
so for those of us who have always loved English, but let's
Yes.
be perfectly honest,
Mm-mm.
the English language
Mm-mm.
can sometimes be a challenge. What you thought you were writing correctly,
Lies.
Grammarly quickly tells you, no, ma'am, that is not correct.
Did you say no, man?
No, ma'am. Uh,
Was it
why do
true?
you have a comma when it should be a period? But why are you splicing your adjectives? Why are you da 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 da?
Why you doing?
Um,
Or better yet, my favorite is you doing all of that. Why don't you do this? It also suggests. It
it
doesn't
makes a lot
just.
of really good suggestions.
Yes. It doesn't just throw you out there and see what happens.
Yeah, and it really helps you with just tightening up writing because
Mm-hmm.
also in this role, you do a fair amount of technical writing too.
Right.
um, those of us that write, as part of our job,
Mm-hmm.
we all have a tendency to write the way that we talk.
Right.
So Grammarly allows us to hopefully clean that up so that we are hopefully moving into the language and speech patterns that the institutions that we represent want us to have.
True. Very
Yeah,
true. Very true. And I love. I mean, I the other part that I like about it is that it syncs with so much technology. It's not
yes,
just a standalone add-on only on the internet. I mean,
correct.
once you download it, it's there, and then you
Yes.
can very nicely put it on too, and then fill in the blank.
Yes. Yes, it's probably one of the best plugins out there. And I can appreciate that even the free use of Grammarly still does
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit with making sure that you are conjugating your verbs correctly.
Yeah.
Now, will I one day spring for the premium? Yes. And the reason being is before first of all, I like to test out everything for a little while before
Mm-hmm.
actually jumping into the next thing. But as someone who will soon be writing proposals, whether that's for grant writing or doing submissions for conferences
Uh-huh.
or writing for journals,
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure that I have all of the necessary support in doing my writing. It's one of those things that I wish that I would have had more use of as I was writing my dissertation
Oh.
all those years ago.
uh, when I found out about Grammarly, that was one of the things that made me cry
Yeah.
because the dissertation was hard. I mean, I had the old school thesaurus and the dictionary and that and,
Mm-hmm.
and the APA manual, but that still didn't help me with my sentence structure. And
Yeah.
Grammarly would have been the bomb at that point.
Yes.
Mm, mm,
Yes.
mm, mm.
And sentence diagrams still work, but you need to have that extra level of support.
Did you say sentence diagrams?
I did.
So you remember those things?
I do.
I loved doing those. The basic ones, at least.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh, okay. So thank you for your one, which was what again?
Pinterest,
And your 2A
Google Drive,
and your 2B.
Grammarly.
Grammarly. Now, for me, I am going to mine's good and bad. Those of you who know me know I have a passion for fashion. So the two that I'm going to give for number 2, 2A, rent the runway. 2B, bag, borrow, and steal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might say, well, Tasha, those are not really apps. You really can't change your world. Well, it is, and it does. See, bag, borrow, first of all, let's go to Rent the Runway.
Mm-hmm.
RentTheRunway.com is a place where I first learned about it on Oprah. Miss you, Oprah. And on that particular episode, they're talking about how you can save money. And this app, and it was when e-commerce was just really starting to get its rhythm. Those of us who are of a certain age remember when uh, everybody was a .com, and then quote the .com bubble burst. So this is kind of the second version of this happened, and
Yeah.
that is where this particular website comes in. And what you do is you register for free, and you have various options. And the options are either for you to rent clothing that
Mm-hmm.
are for a one time, or either you can do a subscription and you can do, we'll say, 3 pieces for 1 month, and it could be a pantsuit for an interview, it could be a sundress for a beach party, it could be a hat, glasses, gloves, whatever you need. You can rent it on this website, and you keep it for. They have time frames, either 3 days to 8 days, and they ship it to you for this fee, and you use it, and then you return it. And the shipping both ways is including it in that fee. And the
Mm-hmm.
other part of it that I like also is that they have formal gowns. Now, in the things that we do, Karen, in your work and my work, both of us are members of our respective sorority. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Kappa Alpha, Karen.
Shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho,
Thank you.
Sorority Incorporated, where I just celebrated 16 years with my Sands.
I'm slow clapping you, girl. You such a
Thank
baby.
you.
You're a baby.
Thank
It's
you.
so sweet.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Look, I can drive.
See, I was gonna touch that, but I'm not. But what we're gonna, but so the thing is, we have so many activities that we have to wear formal wear with,
Yeah.
and the requirements vary. There are times where we're required to wear a certain color.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are, or yeah, a certain color for a certain event, and or
Yes.
we are going to so many events with the same group, we don't want to wear the same outfit. So with
All the
that,
time.
we
Yes.
are very nicely you go on the website, you can look at the dresses, the different colors, the different shapes. They always rotate through. And when that takes place, you can choose that dress, put it on, and go. The other thing that I like about it is because it gives you two. So it will say if you're 8, you can ask for 8 and a 10 or 8 and a
Mm-hmm.
6. And the second size is free. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is it gonna fit? It will fit. Calm
Ex-
down. So that's why I like
Yes.
about it, and it's easy, and they ship it anywhere. Because I was at an event in Vegas, and they shipped to my hotel.
Yes, it was that white dress with the capelet.
That was
Yes.
in Atlanta. The other
Oh,
one, it was a
was that the
sherbet
gold
dress.
one?
That was in Rome. All of that was Rent the Runway, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, and like, and something we have to remember too is that with Rent the Runway and Bag Borrow and Steal, is that, you know, every season there are colors that come in and out of
Yeah.
season. And
Mm-hmm.
again, with the kind of things that we often have to go to, if we have to go to a formal event where the color is white,
Yeah.
but it's fall,
Yes. Yeah,
uh,
you can wear that capelet dress.
yeah,
You're gonna
again,
look like Superman. But and it's also fashion. Do you
yeah,
want to be fashion forward? Do you want to
yeah,
just wear it? And that is where all of that comes together, of making sure that it works very well for us. Um,
yes,
we're gonna take a break right now. The reason why is because we are making sure that we are giving you time to keep up with us. When we return, I will finish telling you about bag, borrow, and steal and its importance in both of our lives and all the good and the bad of those two. And then we'll go on to three and also give you ideas or open up the floor for you to share with us what are your favorite ones. So remember, this is Toy Talk. This is Dr. Tasha Toy with Karen Reed Hendon. Say hi, Karen.
hi.
And we will be back after this.